All right, everybody, welcome back for another episode of BarTalk podcast. BarTalk.
Y'all ain't even ready, dude.
Oh my God, what are we doing?
I'm back, bitches.
It's your host, Abigail, and her lovely co-host, Tracy.
Hello.
And Alana.
and co-host.
The co-host.
I was going to say like something. I just don't have anything to say, so.
I'm giving good energy right here so that this works.
Oh, can we get the sage again? Can we do that?
Oh.
Put it in Abigail's titties.
I was on a mission today.
I burned the shit out of my boobs.
Did you really?
It burned my chest.
I just heard a scream.
Yeah, because she burned her
being
chest.
Dramatic. The sage, the embers of the sage, when I put it in my chest, it like
she lit sage and then directly put it onto her chest.
Well, for anybody,
I was trying to hold it.
Yeah, she was trying to take a picture, and I guess all I heard was you scream at first. I was like, "What the fuck happened?"
No pic, no.
We did a little sage action this weekend, trying to get some good vibes, good energy only up in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's working. Mm-hmm. Could feel it. Although Alana saw a ghost in my house
yo,
yesterday.
Yo, legitimately.
Maybe that's why I'm sick, because I saged and then the
same,
and then the universe came for me.
No, yesterday
you got some cleansing to do.
Well, this weekend we moved like all the squat racks out of my home gym, RIP. But literally, we moved them to Alana's house, and so her dad. Yeah. Well, yeah, her dad has them now. So I was like, "Wow, can't wait to come and use your home gym that I sold to you." so her and Rich were here yesterday, and they were moving the major Ludi rack, which is that double cable cross rack. And the both of them, they were standing there and I'm holding the rack together, and the both of them like looked over twice, and I was like, I didn't say anything at first, and then they did it a third time and they were looking outside.
I didn't know we were doing that.
And the door was open, and I looked at both of them like, y'all got some weird energy going on in here? Like, there's nobody outside. It's broad daylight. Like, what's going on? And she's like, something's going on in here. Like, I could feel it. And then the light started flickering above her.
I just kept hearing like weird noises, and it was just making like fall leaves. So it was like nothing in particular at the door. But then when she said that, I got a chill like run down my body. And then
it was
a light bulb that's actively working and not flickering right now, if I look at it out there, started flickering for like freaking 11 style from Stranger Things. I was like, somebody get the Morse code book out.
And Rich didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. She goes, 11, is that you? And Rich goes, what did he say?
He was like, no, it's 12. I'm like dude, don't put that on me like you haven't watched Stranger Things. Like, come on, dude. But I think it was the Holy Spirit, so.
I don't fucking know. We immediately went inside and watched a scary TV show, so I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Guys are
hey, Abigail.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a fucking mess of a weekend. We missed you though.
Yeah, dude.
I had this bitch in the back of a truck
2 weekends in a row just catfishing with plans.
No, it's so bad.
Okay,
Abigail.
I was not well yesterday.
I know, but she was like so prepared to hang out with us, and we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some girl time. And then it was like, just kidding.
I did.
Happy you guys got that squat rack done by yourself because I'm suffering. Meanwhile, Alana's in the back of the truck riding down Centerville.
I held that shit down.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, you guys, for the audience, I was sending that I'm glad you guys are okay text from the toilet. So,
Mulligan,
I'm just going to let you know right now, I was not okay.
Whatever. Second week in a row. Fucking loser.
I did text them in the morning, and I was like, hello, my wonderful mids. I miss you all.
Yeah.
I did miss you. I
just
didn't want to see you yet.
And the honesty in that, just I love it.
You were like, what did you say? It's so weird when I don't see you guys for 24 hours. And it was so heartfelt. And I was like, wow, Abigail does not get in her feels often.
But I'm hanging out with my sister and not you, so just don't get too excited.
And this is the definition of the crow fucking family. My sister's like, I don't really want you going anywhere today. I want you to hang out here and relax and hang out with me and let's have a day together. And I was like, she doesn't ask for anything. All right. And I fucking go like on a walk. I'm like, I'm just going to go on a walk. I'll come back and we'll just chill the rest of the day. And I come back and she's like, okay, so I'm leaving. I was like,
but you're not allowed to go anywhere. So
yeah, she's like, oh, sorry, actually, I'm not going to hang out with you guys. My sister wants to hang out. And then she goes, my sister left and we were in the gym and I went, how's it feel, Abigail?
And then my mom, so I go, what the fuck, Sylvia? And my mom's like, what about me? I'm here. And I was like, fuck, dude. So she's like, let's hang out. And I was like, God damn it, there's another one of you.
That you're fucking stuck there.
And then you gave yourself the shits so you could get out of it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Had so much anxiety over it, gave yourself the shits all weekend.
I'm glad you
bad.
found your way off the toilet.
Huh?
I said, I'm glad you found your way off the toilet today.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Now the idea of food just repulses me.
Oh, God. You gonna fast?
Like, no, I'm actually trying not to because I was like, I need to eat, but I ate lunch and I was like, this was the worst idea I've ever had.
So did you start fasting today?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna still try to
Oh.
eat a little bit. I'm just eating like a piece of turkey, and then I'm like,
That's
we're good.
good.
We're
Yeah.
good for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then I'll eat like 2 grapes. I'm like,
I like Abigail's
Pacing
like
it.
Abigail's MO is like you walk into my house and you immediately are like, hey, and immediately
Yeah.
walks into my fridge
I
and
see
gets
what's up.
whatever is in there. She sees what's up. And you were eating lunch meat when I walked in.
All I know is I associate your house with chocolate now. So I walked in and said, hey, does she have any
yeah,
chocolate?
she did the
Dude,
same. She's gonna be
we
on that
ate
same.
it.
She's gonna be on that same wave.
No,
It's the Trader
Abigail-
Joe's Reese's
Yeah.
peanut butter cups, the
God
dark
damn,
chocolate
dude.
ones.
That's
Oh
really-
my God.
That's really what I was in there looking for.
I
And
know,
then
but
I
I
was like,
ate the last 2 last night.
fuck, dude. Yeah.
Damn.
We walked in and I walked in and I opened the fridge and I was like, it's just fucking sour straight. And I was like, no, but there's
I
deli
didn't grocery
meat.
shop yet. And it's just me now, so like I don't have to shop for anybody else. So then I actually thought about that this morning. I was like, I gotta go grocery shopping and then I gotta shop for you two because you guys are in my house. Like we're watching the show now, and every single time you come in and open the door to see if there's something there. So I was like, all right, fine, I gotta go grocery shopping.
Shopping for Abigail is
She
simple.
did.
It's
It's
just
dude,
chocolate
she
and
got-
deli meat.
Dude,
I
she
did.
She got the
No,
teriyaki chicken
I got that
too.
shit yesterday.
That's
No,
the best
I
one.
bought that.
Teriyaki chicken yesterday?
Yep.
That's not mine.
That-
Oh, I got the chicken. Sorry.
Okay, Abigail.
Sorry, I just had a fucking
every
stroke.
second of every day, I just sympathize for you more.
Piss off.
Fuck.
Okay,
Whatever.
let's
What
get
are we
into
here
the
for?
actual
What's going on
topic.
right now?
Okay, yeah. So listen, we were talking about you. What the fuck is Abigail doing next year?
I sent her a text
Oh,
this
I
morning.
did have a question.
I sent her a text this morning. I said, "Yo, what are good trail
fucking
and
cannot with this
can
bitch.
you let me fucking speak?"
No, I can't with her.
Let's hear it.
I texted her this morning. I said, "Do you know like the names of good trail and road shoes for me?" And all she said was, "We'll discuss this on the podcast."
No, because she said, "What are the best?" She said, "What are the best road and trail shoes?" And I literally was like, "For you? Like, is it for you?"
Oh, and she
Yeah.
said, "What distance?" I said, "Long
yeah,
distance."
and what distance? She said long
Dude.
distance, and I'm like,
Abigail's
are
coming
you
to San
fucking kidding
Fran,
me?
baby.
ooh.
Abigail's trying to do the 100K.
All right, yeah. So
What?
first of all, this is why we're getting into this. You just spit everywhere. I'm gonna wipe it up because I love you.
Expose me. How did I do that?
I don't know, but you just spit everywhere, dude.
Thank you.
Yo,
Lickage.
spitters or quitters.
Oh my god, this fucking phlegm,
Laugh
man.
that shit up and
Spit.
swallow it. Lock that shit up
Oh my
and swallow like a
God.
man.
Shit, I cleaned it up too soon. Fuck. All right, listen.
Suck it off her sleeve.
It's fucking everywhere, dude.
Okay, calm down.
All right, whatever.
Everyone's
Anyway.
fine.
I actually saw literally no fluid.
Well, it's all over my fucking sweatshirt now. Love you, Minute.
Okay.
All right, listen. So in the beginning of this year, we had this conversation, and Abigail made this joke saying, like, before my life went to shit, she was like, hey, you're going to have a really good year this year in running, and you should probably, like, run elite because you've podiumed a bunch of times. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck that noise. I'm definitely not there at all. And then I, in fact, was not there at all for the last, like, 3 months.
Yeah.
Because just, like, everything went
Still,
to shit.
still not there.
Still not there. Like,
I
it's
was
not
there.
happening.
I was there to watch her not be there.
Yeah, yeah. So I took a hardcore downfall. However, next year we have no choice because everything's changing. Did you pay attention to that stuff?
Give
Yeah.
a quick update to the audience about the It's the Spartan races.
Yeah, Spartan races, the age
For
groups.
those that are
sorry,
not sure.
my crippling ADHD. Here's like,
Good
bang, bang,
God.
bang,
They
bang.
are changing the race structure for the 2024 season.
Yeah.
So that now there is essentially no separation between age group and elite.
Technically. It's kind of like any other race, which honestly makes a lot of sense. It's overall, and then the fourth place goes into age group. So you take like 1, 2, 3, and then if you're the fourth person in 25 to 29, you would take first place in your age group, which like makes a lot of sense, right? Because that's how like every other race runs, period. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And also I think it bridges the gap of people that like are halfway going to be running elites and halfway are just like on the top of the age group podiums all the time because they're just dicking around and would rather win than lose the elite category. You know what I'm saying? So like they don't want to fail, so they'd rather just win over everybody else. So it's gonna bridge that gap a little bit. But you asked me about a pair of trail shoes now. And so I'm kind of like, is this why? Like,
well, I think in all fairness,
I'm
Abigail
about to
is.
switch it up on y'all so hard.
I knew it.
What do you know?
what do you mean?
She's been coming after that Spartan hybrid.
No, I'm about to switch up on y'all so hard.
What does
Don't
that
tell me
even
you're doing like actual
mean?
long distance shit.
I want to
You
fucking...
coming?
Are you gonna do the ultra with us?
Yeah, probably. But
Hell yeah.
I really want to get into bow hunting next year.
What
the fuck?
I told y'all I was going to switch up. on y'all.
Abigail, what does that even mean?
Okay.
Is this Brocat related?
No, but he's going to start doing it with me probably.
Okay,
Of
what's
course
going
he
on?
is.
Explain.
Because he's also psychotic like me.
Okay.
I just...
What is bow
Okay,
hunting?
so this is essentially like my journey in training is like I felt like a fucking loser. So
Okay.
I started working out.
You're talking like young Abigail.
Yes. I
Okay.
just felt like a fucking loser, so I started working out.
Facts.
Right? And I felt more proficient as a human being because I was like, okay, I can hold my own because I'm strong and I'm having good endurance and I'm fast and like, so like strength, speed, endurance, I've got these things. I'm more proficient as a human being. Great. Awesome. And then I was like, okay, I'm still a fucking loser. So I was like, jujitsu. So then I was like, okay, I can take strength, speed, and endurance and translate it to a grappling sport. And then I can understand like self-defense and how to protect myself and whatnot.
Not die
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Even though like I'm still a fucking loser. So I'm sitting in like still fucking loserville.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, what's next? I've got to learn how to freaking like actually survive because all this talk of World War III, I'm like, I would fucking die.
Dang.
I would fucking die. Like we would all fucking die.
Oh, I would for sure be the first to
And
go.
I'm like
just so
Way
we're
to give
clear
yourself
on that.
the most credit.
sadly, like I'm more competent than the average human.
Yeah.
We'd all fucking die.
Yeah.
So I signed up to do this.
So Abigail takes it upon herself to hold her fucking bitches
I
down.
love that.
I'm keeping all of you guys alive.
All right, cool.
love
I'm here
this.
for
So
it.
anyway, so I'm signed up for this. Jesus Christ, Tracy, are we good?
Yeah.
So I signed up for this Protector 1 course, which is associated with the
Yeah.
sheepdog response training that is run by Tim Kennedy.
Right.
And
Which is
Tyler,
awesome, by the
Tyler,
way.
my client, is going to do that with me. We're going to Austin, Texas to do it.
When is it?
It's late February.
Oh shit, soon.
Mm-hmm.
How many days is it?
It's 3 days.
Yeah, okay.
It's
so cool.
yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And
Don't they have the weekend one and like go during the week, or it's like 5 days or something?
yeah, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's essentially going to teach you like self-defense grappling with actual like dummy knives and guns, situational awareness, and then obviously like tactical proficiency, how to use and operate guns and things like that. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Dude. Are you still gonna feel like a loser after that? Because I don't think
100%. I'll probably feel like more of a loser because I'll be like, Jesus, because it just opens the realm of like all of the things
things
that I
you have
don't
to pay
know that I
attention to,
need
yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
So Tyler and I are gonna start going to the range more often, but then that got me into like, okay, like I do like if I were to actually have to survive, I want to be able to be proficient like across multiple weapons
Yeah.
and in multiple scenarios and in a survival setting. So it's
she's
like I
training
want
for
to
the
go.
Hunger Games.
So I
Is
want
this
to.
bow and arrow because your mom almost fucking killed me with
No,
one the
well,
other
I
day?
want to. I want to use
Like, what is happening here?
I want to use a compound bow, not with my.
Like, what's with this
I
whole
don't-
family
Dude,
and
they're
bows?
badass, bro.
Well, I got into throwing knives like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And so I want to still like, I want to get into throwing knives. And then I also want to be more tactically proficient with guns. And then I want to learn how to use a bow and also hunt with a bow.
Okay.
And I want to actually like go after and hunt. Like I want to be a part of that. I don't want to go to like some stand and just sit there
Yeah.
and then kill, you know, on a reservation or something like that. I want to actually go out
Katniss motherfucking
and perform
Everdeen,
hunt.
bro.
So with
God.
that being all of that like being said, I have to have extraordinarily good endurance.
Yeah.
Because one, you're hiking through mountains for multiple miles across multiple days.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also carrying whatever you kill back.
Right.
Whoa.
So
people compete with these types? Is that
That's
like
not-
a,
no,
is this
no,
a,
no,
or okay?
that's-
I was like, is it just becoming proficient?
no, but
in-
I would want
like,
to.
what does that
I
look
would still
like?
want to do like endurance races and stuff as I'm training more endurance training, and
Okay.
I'm training in these areas to perform hunts.
So when would you practice this? Like, do people do group hunts?
She's
like,
gonna go out on the greenway.
Do
We're
I
gonna
need to be
running
nervous
12
whenever I'm running?
We're gonna be running our 20-mile training runs, and Abigail's gonna be in the back, fucking
tree, bro.
I'm gonna be in Tom
making us
Brown
go
just.
faster.
I'm in Tom Brown just shooting motherfuckers. I'm gonna have a.
She's gonna shoot all the bikers that don't have any bells that are trying to run us over.
Dude, I'm gonna have the like the plunger arrows, and if you guys are going too slow, I'm just gonna plunge your ass.
Okay, so now I'm nervous.
I'll get you. I'll be like
fucking cough.
right below the heart, penetrating the lung.
Okay, 30 seconds.
At 30 yards.
Okay, that's pretty dope though.
I'll skin you alive.
Yo, so the sheepdog response thing, like, is there like something that you actually have to do before you go? Like, does he give you?
I think they recommend that you have some form
Like, he's like
of,
no shit. Like,
I think yeah. Well, Tim Kennedy isn't always there for it. He has a whole team of people. I really hope that he is, because it's in Burnett, which is right outside of Austin. So it's right, like he lives there. So I'm hoping he takes part in that. But also he's really busy with like the war stuff going on right now.
Ooh.
a little bit.
Valid.
Yeah. So we'll see. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. But they do recommend. I don't even think they suggest you have grappling, like any background in grappling or martial arts or anything like that. But I do believe they recommend you have some like experience tactically.
Yeah.
So that you can bring a gun with you and like pack it on the plane.
Yeah,
that's
and
fucking
understand
dope.
how to.
I told Tyler I wanted to come to the range with y'all at some point, just because I'm very
I'll go to the range for sure.
proficient, if we're talking proficiency.
I haven't
Yeah.
gone in a minute.
Yeah. So
A couple of years.
basically just everything in my whole being always, like since I was little, has called me to be. I think I put it in the form of significance, and that was the theme that I always had, is like be significant. But I think it's like be significant and be proficient.
Mhm.
Bitch about to be out here like a Hunger Games.
I'm telling you, like, that's what she's training for. Like, screw freaking
That's what
Spartan.
makes me like. That's the type
She's
of
about to
stuff.
say, I nominate.
know.
Okay, if I
Her
get
and Rich out there in the Greenway.
if
Call
I
right
get
now.
nominated for the Hunger Games, like, is that you like saying that you take it? You'd be
Yeah.
like, got this.
Yes, I would.
Yes,
I'd volunteer.
because
as
I
tribute.
died.
I volunteer as
really
tribute.
fast.
I volunteer as
However,
tribute.
that's just this is fun. My family said that I would be the most likely to survive in the Hunger Games, and I think that is funny.
Out of your
That
family?
out of my family, because I would die.
No, out of your family,
out
I
of
believe
my
that.
which is just
Out
so
of us,
funny.
I don't.
I think Nicole, my stepmom, would
Yeah.
actually whip some tail. But besides that,
Yeah.
anyways, that's a side note. But damn, that's awesome.
That's kind of what I want to do for 2024. That's the stuff that
Cool.
like makes me feel the most fulfilled. Is like
Yeah,
being out
Survival.
there. Also, just like being out in the earth.
I
And,
would
like,
love to go to the sheepdog response course, but I would definitely would not be. I've always wanted to hunt, but I would be terrible.
I don't think. I think it would. To me,
I don't
it's,
shut the fuck up enough.
oh yeah, you have to.
That would be
Well, I
bad.
think it would. It
I don't.
teaches you so
Yeah,
much
you
about
don't.
patience and like being out in the elements
Mhm.
and understanding like the elements aren't always like, it's not like beautiful nature
Yeah.
and elks and
Survival.
water.
No,
It's
no.
like it's fucking hot or it's fucking cold or it's muggy or there are bugs everywhere or there are other animals that are also like out there trying to kill things.
Yeah.
Like, one
Shit.
of those things is you. Like one
Yeah.
of those, and so
Creepy.
and then all of the stuff that goes into hunting and tracking animals and things like that, it's just really fascinating to me. And I don't know anything about it. I know zero about it.
Did you see
So-
the elk that Tyler sent us?
Yeah, that thing was huge.
That was insane. The leg was meat enough for a year.
Yeah.
It was
So
massive.
it makes that kind of stuff makes me feel small, but it also makes me feel really connected with everything.
That's really
Yeah,
awesome.
I
And
love
so-
that.
That's
That's
how
what
I feel
I-
about trail running with
Mhm.
no killing things involved and no weaponry involved. So I'm
a
actually
butterfly
really
bitch.
excited to see how, I'm like, oh my God, look at the freaking butterfly. Like I'm why you need to exist.
Love, not
because
war.
I don't, no, I mean, I fully acknowledge the importance of survival. It's just not where my brain goes. Like I've been such a natural optimist in life. Like I don't think about that stuff. And so to me, I'm like excited to see like what you learn from that. Cause I just think that
I just think
definitely
it's
a
my
vast-
duty. Like it makes I feel for some reason a sense of
Cool.
responsibility to be like, you need to be able to take care of yourself and you need to be able to take care of the people you love.
Mhm.
love that.
And to me, if I can't do that,
It's very
I feel,
fitting for you.
Yeah, if I can't do that,
I just picture you being the type of person that she's gonna come out with us on a training run and she's gonna fucking hate us because we're like prime base work bitches right now and we're chatty Kathleen and we like stop and
dirt on her face.
I need
and, like hiding in the bushes.
Well, normally we go out for training runs and what ends up happening is we'll run
back down the hill and meet you guys.
Dude, I'm telling you, we'll be out there for like 15 miles and Rich is hiding trying to scare us and Abigail's gonna be out there fucking hunting her asses. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
It's just I don't, dude. I think
it's a fantastic idea.
I'm okay with being a base work bitch, especially as
interesting.
the mileage increases. So
Yeah, I just know for the first couple runs, Abigail's gonna get pissed. Like we're all gonna stop to look at something. Mac's gonna be like, "Oh my god, the goldenrods are blooming," and you're gonna be like, "Look at that butterfly," and we're gonna stop for a second. And Abigail's gonna look at us like, "I'm gone."
Because I've started noticing nature like a lot more these past few weeks and months, and like I'll be like, dude, this morning, this is today. I was backing out of my driveway. Like I think I wasn't running late. This was like when I was just gonna go study, but I was backing out of my driveway and I like saw a pretty flower that was like I hadn't seen before in my like driveway, and so I like stopped my car, like just put it in park, and I like got out and I was just like looking at it for a second, took a picture, wanted another angle, so like that's how my brain operates.
Okay, so listen, I'm not like that.
Like, the wolves, they're close.
That flower's fucking poisonous, Alana.
Did you not see the poisonous wasp next? No, I didn't actually. I was taking a picture.
That's not even how I am.
You don't understand. There's so many things that I could think of right now that you're gonna get pissed off at us for. Like when we were training for the ultra, we had to run in the morning with headlamps. Dude, Rich and Alana gave me shit because my headlamp was in the sky. Like their headlamps are directly in front of us
on the trail.
On the trail, where you're supposed to be looking
in the trees. I said, Tracy, how are you supposed to see the trail if it's in the trees?
I'm like looking around, like I'm just like, I fucking am loving life. It's like super early in the morning. It's like 5 a.m. I'm like, this is great. It's like a little therapeutic. They're beamed in like on where we're supposed to go, like keeping everybody safe and whatever, because we're just out in the middle of pitch darkness, and I'm like, this is fucking
But those
amazing.
animals are out there because we got to that big open field, we looked over and there's like 1,000 eyes, and I'm pretty sure they were deers or something, but like it was like not that far from us.
You have fun. We'll run out of Phipps where all the trails are, the back trails.
She's actually never gonna run with us. She's actually only gonna run by herself, so
no, that's not true. You guys do run at like terrible times though. You guys run at like prime gym money making times for me.
Well, we'll figure it out. We adapt.
Yeah, we coach in the morning, and so we have to run at 7. Well, we don't have to run at 7 on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are their only days to sleep in, which is not waking up at 3:30 in the morning type of sleeping in. Mm-hmm. So on Tuesdays we try to run at 7, which is
why'd you say it like that?
Because 7 seems very late for us, but Alana and I are Tuesday sleep in bitches.
Yeah.
It is like hey, are you awake? It's 6:55, hauling ass to the Greenway, 95 miles an hour.
I don't know why Mac and Rich still get there early. Like they'll get there 15 minutes early just because they're like both like that. And I'm like, I'm nowhere close to being ready. Like I told you, like it's a loose 7 o'clock because those are my only day I get to sleep in. And I'll be whipping in at like 7:05. And they're there like 15 minutes early. I said, don't do that. Just get there at 7 if you want to get, I don't know.
So I'm down to like,
we don't have to dish all this out.
We'll see how this goes.
This will be great. I'm very excited for you.
I'm just taking bets right now.
Also, Ultra Mont Blancs for a long distance trail.
Yeah, facts.
And I think for road shoe,
I don't
run road. It hurts my.
I would still put her in an ultra.
Calves.
Really?
I think so.
I think the ultra.
They did they have their first 4mm drop shoe in the ultra line. I have not tried it on, but I've heard like really good things about it. I guess Ultra's trying to like venture out of their box. They're supposed to be like, 0 drop across the board. But the Mont Blancs that we have, so if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about trail shoes, right?
Yeah, I need actual like long distance.
The drop
trail
is the
and road.
distance like from the heel to the midfoot, and then the stock height is like pretty much the amount of cushion that you have. Like the ones that you have right now are like fucking paper. And you ran the Utah Beast in them like a fucking psychopath without inserts.
And
I just don't even. Yeah, like that was retarded, but also fine.
Just with the shoes I fucking
like I just don't even understand. I like it doesn't make any sense to me because my ankles, I would have had to take them off and throw them off the side of the cliff if I did that.
Starting to actually run and like take that stuff serious, it's funny because it's like I was running when I started running in a pair of shoes that I had for 4 years, and like they were like $15 from like Shoe Station on a sale. Like, and I didn't know the difference, but then like now, like no way I would even like walk in those. Like it's just funny how like you get so like
snobby.
Oh yeah, but then you're like, oh my god, my freaking left calf muscle hurts today because I was in the wrong shoe. You're like, what are you talking about?
But that's like,
you would know. Like
I wore shoes that were like 2 sizes too small for me for years because I was used to being in training shoes bizarre, for track, bro. And I was wearing track spikes for years. And literally, you need to be basically have your toes curled. So I mean, I was a pole vaulter, so you needed to have them a size
when you're a sprinter
smaller. Too, yeah. And so when I got into like long distance running, I was losing toenails and my feet already go numb as it is.
I can't wear Hoka's. Like I lost 2 toenails doing the Montana Ultra. Trifecta weekend.
Yeah,
and
Hoka's aren't it.
Dude, they're not for my foot. The
speed goats are good, but I know
I don't think you would like them. The toe box like fucked me up so hard. Like I literally just got my toenails back in. We ran that trifecta weekend 2 Mays ago.
Yeah, they are just too narrow.
It was too narrow, and also
Ultras
think, like,
always have kind of that wider toe box.
Yeah,
that's what
do.
That's what I have. Yeah,
and I just feel like, especially for obstacles, like Hoka's are so thick that I can't feel like where I'm putting my feet, especially on things like Z-Wall. So I like Hoka's for like recovery shoes and like a little bit cross training in the gym, but even that, like you can't lift in them very well. So
I've been the Ultras stack that they have on a Hoka is very like, I don't want to say imbalanced, but it's almost so cushiony that when you're trying to like actually paddle your feet, you kind of like roll because you don't have enough like cushion. Traction in them. Yeah, like on the insides. And also they are a little bit more narrow than you would like. And if you're not used to that, I just don't think that you would like it. You would
I've
feel
always
clunky.
Had wide feet, so for me the Ultras just do really well. Like I don't have any problems in the Mont Blancs. Like I love them.
So I think what I do is I just torture myself so bad in like shitty shoes. So like I would wear the worst shoes in my training runs, and then I'd go on the Spartan and I'd wear those ultra. What was I even wearing?
I gave you the VJs last time. Those are thin.
Yeah, those are thin. And then, but mine are also like nothing.
You ran in the superiors, which is like the Gen 1 superiors, which are like, literally not. It's a tissue box.
And when I ran in them, I was like,
that's what it is.
But I ran in them, I was like, this is amazing.
Have y'all seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Because when I ran in them, I was so used to what?
God dang it.
Yeah, I have.
It's like that spray on shoe that you like.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They're nothing. Like, I think that you would, just from like knowing how you run, I think you're gonna want to stay in an ultra regardless.
Yeah, less is more. I feel like for me with.
Then you'll like it.
But also, I don't know. I don't up mileage like that, like on the regular.
I mean, listen, everybody's different, but I think like, we talked to Anthony about this, and I actually talked to him about it not too long ago because I was in Cadence getting another pair of those, not Lone Peaks. What are the roads? What are the shoes we train in for road?
Torrens.
Yeah, the Torrens 7s came out.
Wait, no, they're not Torrens.
Fuck, I forget. Whatever.
Send me a list of things.
Yeah, but it's just like anything else. It's just like it's very minimal. You know what I'm saying?
I heard Saucony's.
I don't think they would work.
And I heard Asics.
Fucking Asic, bro. I can't do that.
I don't know.
Asics make me feel like I'm wearing a hospital shoe.
Okay. And Saucony's, no.
Saucony's, I think they're a good shoe. A lot
Peregrines
of people
are
really
good,
like
but they're narrow.
They wouldn't work for my foot. My foot is so wide that like even like I can't wear Nikes, like Hoka's at this point.
I like wide toe box just because I like spreading my toes.
You like
with jiu-jitsu. Like I like to feel as close to like I want to feel my feet.
I think the Mont Blancs are like the best you're gonna get for like not wanting something super thick and chunky like the Olympuses. They got a pretty high stack height.
Oh yeah,
but like they're very minimal. Like they're the most minimal shoe you can get for a long distance shoe. Like I've never had a problem in them. And like my feet.
Put rock plates in all your shoes.
They have them in there.
Okay,
they're the Olympus.
Cool.
Doesn't, I want to say the Mont Blancs do, which is good for like the training runs that we do, especially for hiking and stuff. But I do know that the Olympus do not drain as well as the Mont Blancs do. The Mont Blancs are very thin.
Okay.
In the midsole. So like they drain. Like you can stick a hose in there and it comes right out the top.
Okay.
So those are pretty good. Okay. Especially if you're doing like hikes and stuff like that. The Sauconys are good. They're just really thin. And I've used them for like decas and like stuff in the gym and doing hybrid training, but it's the same thing. It's just that cushion on the outside. It just is not, there's not enough stability in it. It's almost too much cushion that you like don't have enough stability at all. And I feel like my feet roll side to side. Okay. And like, I would just rather be able to feel the earth and like feel my feet, have total control.
Same.
So that's why I would rather have a zero drop shoe.
Especially for something like a Spartan, like especially.
So for road and trail, zero
I would.
ultras.
I mean, listen, even like even hybrid sports and
just road for road have like one with a bigger stack height.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
But like even for stuff that's in the gym, I just like cannot do anything that has a drop to it because I just genuinely feel like I have no control anymore. Like I get too much aid.
Yeah.
With lifting, I would rather go barefoot. But like I just feel like it gives me so much aid that like by the time I go out on the trails, it's like I didn't do any of the minor movements in the gym to have like strong ankles, hips, knees, any of that. It's just like a wash for me.
Okay. I think it is the Torin. Will you look it up?
Yeah, I will.
I'm pretty sure it's the Torin.
What are you guys' 2024 situation? I know you guys are you're going more endurance, long endurance.
So just going into kind of what like the conversation of just like this is where you naturally feel drawn to go. What is it? Like what did you say? Bow hunting?
Just
survival stuff. Okay, so for me, like I don't know. I think hunting? I also. Anyways, I
tell me like how that feeling though, like you kill an elk with an arrow that you shot.
Oh, I would love it.
And then like just
I'm not saying I wouldn't love it.
I don't know, the connection that you feel with everything around you in that moment. And also to me it's like I'm eating all this meat. I feel like I have no
connection to like what?
Or just it's just like I almost feel like it's disrespectful.
Like it's disrespectful to eat the meat without killing it?
Almost. It's almost just like let me like be the person that's
Torrance.
Fucking kills the animals so that I can like I don't know. It almost feels like that's it's cool. Like just give me the meat.
See, I've
first world problem.
Honestly never been like
it is.
Yeah. I've never been attracted to hunting. I respect like the hell out of it because I just know that like the meat's coming from somewhere and like the ability to go out and just do it yourself and have that competency like pop off, you know? I don't know. But as far as just like going back to that for the sake of like me, like over this past year, especially after doing Fayetteville, I like the ultra we did in Fayetteville last May. I like don't know if I could ever not have, and I don't know. I'm excited to see how this next one is going to go, especially with it being longer and just trail. But I did the Pine Mountain 19 mile last December, and like I loved that. I love just being in nature. I think that one took me like 5 or 6 hours, maybe. I think it was 5 hours.
Isn't that coming up?
Yeah, it's in a couple weeks, but I'm not doing it this year. But yeah, it's like the same weekend as Sebring.
Oh, facts.
But I think just being outside and like connected with nature for so long with no distractions for the ultra we did in May, like I was so like my life was changed, honestly. Like I've never had that just like level of peace. And again, I mentioned this when we did the ultra recap episode, like I was telling everybody because it was just such a like random thing for me to just be so down to do, but it was just kind of I had this itch for it, and like again it was just I've also kind of pursued athleticism because I never really played sports growing up, so there was no reason for me to like because I never was really interested in competition, so that's I feel like a big reason why, because that just it's not what drives me. For me it's my own competency, and I never really found like an outlet for that growing up, and so that's why all of this stuff has been so good for me because I found that outlet and it's been really amazing. But again, I just had that itch to kind of just go for like a little bit farther and just not be scared to be like, I'm going to go do this and see how I feel about it, you know? So doing that, like I felt so connected just with myself, with the freaking earth, with my mind. Like it was just so transformative in the fact where it's like I was able to just learn myself, and I came out with just like realizations about just my life circumstances and you know what I want for my future, and just things that I'd been like so anxious and just like pent up about for just literally my whole life up until that point. Like I was just able to sort it out because I'm out there for 9.5 hours. Like what else are you gonna do? So and just like overcoming things. Like again, my hands were torn up and bleeding the first loop, and like
her hands
I couldn't wash my hair when I was done, you know. But I did all second of the 30 obstacles with them, but again, like I literally like Tracy had to wash my hair for me, so it's just like I don't know, it's just
that was bad.
The ability to find, again, like I just feel like what connects you to connect. We were talking about being like connected to source. I think finding the thing that does that for you, like do it, go crazy. Like I love that for you.
You're kind of also asking me why, and it's like I don't necessarily know if I have a real reason. I have like a hunch, but I do know one thing, which is like if you feel like you're supposed to go a certain direction, just go.
And
Dude,
for me,
and that's what it is. You got to make a decision. You just got to fucking do
You
it.
just gotta go.
I told Tracy like maybe a few. I was a little scared to be like, let's do so much longer because I know she was going through a pretty like rough spot like whenever we got out of the ultra because of like family stuff, and so I wasn't trying to like go crazy and like make a bunch of plans. I was just gonna give it a minute, but like I knew instantly when I finished.
She didn't give it a fucking
Dude,
second,
it was
bro.
like 2 days later. I was like 100 miler next week.
Dude, it was 2 days later, and she's like, "Oh my god, can't wait to do a 100 miler." And I was like, "Bitch, we just ran a 50K."
I was so down. But that being said, like to me, it's just was like that just opened the gates, but the itch was there before, and so for me, like that's why this goal or this next year, like my focus has like Spartans really pushed me out of my comfort zone because it requires just this like well-rounded athleticism. I mean, ultra running does too, but it's more tailored towards running, you know? So for me, like I love the stuff like, you know, DECA, and we're going to try Hyrux in a couple weeks, and like the stuff that keeps me like accountable to getting stronger and more competent just with moving my own body. But I have the itch for the longer endurance stuff, and that's what I'm really excited for. Because again, I love being in nature, and I'm excited to just like the San Francisco race looks so beautiful. Like watching the video, I was like drooling. So I'm excited.
That'd be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same wave.
So you're the same for 2024.
Yeah, I just feel like I want to try new shit. Not saying that like the other things that I've done, I'm not saying like the other things I've done I don't enjoy, but I just feel like I'm in this weird place where like I've been a competitor like my whole life, and for a good minute, like especially since I've gotten into it, it's like I wanted to do well, but I also like wanted to just be a coach kind of like, and so I like took advantage of it. And I feel like since we have such a big team now, like I want to pick the races that I want to do genuinely well in and like succeed in them, and then go to all the rest of the races. Like we had one a month that we were traveling to. And for me, I want to be a part of like that community, and I want to like spread that to other people, because for me, like the joy that I get is seeing her, like Alana, who has done no sports at all, and then all of a sudden she hops into something. She's like, "Oh, this might be fun. Let me just randomly try it." In Atlanta, a year ago, right? And she has no competitive edge. And being around like specific people and like the community, now she's like got that competitive bite, and so she's like pulling it out of her. And so every single race she does, she's like more hungry. And hungry. And that's what I love seeing is like I've been like that before years ago. Not saying that I can't get there again, but I've been there years ago, and now I'm at the point where like I want to do well for me, but I want to pick the races that I want to succeed in, and then the rest of them I'll go to. And you know, for example, like in Central Florida, I'll run the half marathon, I'll run the Beast, but I'm probably not going to run on Sunday because I would rather watch them run. Like
you're at a place in your life where you find joy in training, but you find real joy in watching your athletes.
Yeah.
You don't care necessarily about competition other than just for the sake of saying I compete.
Yeah, just for the sake of saying that I
That's
compete.
How I feel
like, and if I want
to,
if I want to fucking compete, like I want to actually compete. Like it drove me literally nuts that this year I got first place in the ultra, and then I just tanked at all costs and was like, the next 3 races I'm just gonna like get dead last and just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And it like kills me inside because I am a competitor, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But I also like when I was talking, I think I was talking to you about it, and I also wrote that post, like I just found the joy in it again of like why I do this, you know? And like you don't have to compete. Like I was an athlete for so long. I went to college for athletics. It's like that competitive edge is not ever gonna go away. It just, you have a different purpose. And like my purpose right now, I feel like, is to just do really well in the long distance races and get out of my comfort zone. I want to do different things and like see what I genuinely enjoy, which I love long distance, but we're going to do high rocks and see what it's about, do more decas, whatever, and take the day. And then the next day I can train all my people. So I definitely still want to travel. Yeah. You know, somebody asked me that the other day. They were like, well, are you still going to travel? And I was like, yeah, I still want to go once a month and do things and travel and communicate with others and like cultivate community. That's what I'm good at. So why wouldn't I do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me with, I have a feeling that as I start pursuing this other thing, I will actually want to compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments more. I think I just really dislike the idea that my identity is placed in any one thing.
Yeah.
See that?
That's to me is a very like, it's trapping. Like for me, it feels suffocating.
Yep.
So like if my identity is purely in, and I understand that there's going to be things that I spend more time doing, and so thus people are going to like put me in said boxes because they're like, Abigail is associated with this, thus this is part of her, you know? But like if my identity is fully in like a coach or a specific kind of coach, she's the youth athlete coach, she's the endurance coach, or Abigail is the jujitsu person. Like I started feeling like people were putting jujitsu into like that's Abigail is jujitsu,
right?
Especially because jujitsu is a more rare thing,
right?
Especially in this town, so everyone's like, "Oh, you're the jujitsu girl, like you're gonna kill me or whatever," and it's like, I fucking suck, like, like,
which first of all you don't,
but it's kind of, and then to me it almost was just like, ugh, like I don't want this, like I don't want this, and then there's pressure, and every time I go compete, it's like there's this pressure of I have to fulfill some semblance of the responsibility that is my identity, which is jujitsu.
I get that,
and that's why it was actually really refreshing to go do Spartans, because I was like, fuck this, nobody thinks I'm a Spartan racer, so like let me just go run.
Yeah.
And let me just go fucking do this.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, that's cool. And then people are like, you're going to do Spartan races? And I'm like, no. No.
You're just going to do all of the things.
I think that...
You're a jack of all trades, Abigail. You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I've like... That's something that I like... That was probably my biggest manifestation of this year. Was just like, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will work hard as fuck at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But... I think there's also something to like pick a few things and like actually take time to get good at them. Like, don't just be like, I'm gonna do this and that's
well, from a training perspective, it makes sense. But in
like,
the grand scheme of things, if somebody's told you to run, you can run. If somebody told you to jump, you can fucking jump.
It's just like climb, I want to be very good at the things I enjoy and not necessarily place my identity in any of the things that I am very
agree with
good
that.
at.
That was like, so I've mentioned this kind of like, I guess, concept to Tracy a few times now when we just go on walks. Like, I have had one of the most like underwhelming semesters of my life because it's kind of put me in, like, I got injured coming out of West Virginia. Like, I don't even know. I feel like it was like really bad hip impingement that wouldn't go away, or maybe even borderline labrum tear. Like, I was limping for a few weeks coming out of West Virginia.
I literally don't know what happened.
I've like actually just like, because I felt fine. My bounce back after the ultra was good, but I think again, just not having that like base of just general athleticism and like mechanics down, like it did catch up to me like after putting so much load on my body. And so like that was frustrating to come to term with in general, just because I was like, damn it, I'm not invincible. That's kind of really annoying, because I got to that point where I was like, oh, let's go, like 100-miler next week, let's freaking, I got this, but it's just like the concept of like identity was really something that hit me like a solid like 3 months ago dude, I don't even have any concept of time because I've had nothing going on this
3 months
semester.
ago would be September, August.
So yeah, then it would like literally August 28th was West Virginia, and then since then I'm like now just getting back to like 400 meters running, like that's my max right now. And anyway, like I was sitting in my car after I'd come out of a real recovery appointment, and it was just where I was like, this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm gonna have to be really freaking patient, because I just like my MO just like in life and growing up until the past few years was like, things got hard, all right, I'm done, what's up, what else, what else am I doing? And so for me, this is just like the thing in my life where I'm like, so just like, I don't give a shit really what happens, like you'll catch me like my leg falls off, all right, give me that prosthetic, we're running, bitch, like that's kind of.
Was there a sense of fear still in that, like, could I slip into the I'm gonna give up thing? Like, was there that?
So the fear actually wasn't in
was triggered.
That it was the fear was in that was just, I think, me giving context of just like my past and like who I am or was. I don't even really align with that anymore because I've I commit to things now and I see them through. But the fear that like really had like a stomach sinking moment was I was like, dang it, like what happens if for some reason I can't run again, like just because my body won't allow it, like who am I? Exactly. And I was like, it was really emotional for me because I've just honestly like since then spent like the past like 6 weeks just genuinely doing so much soul searching and like freaking identity, just like evaluation and like who am I, because like I don't want to be boxed in at all. Like I want to be able to do a high rocks in 2 weeks and have no question about it. People are like, hell yeah, go do it. And like, I want to live that experience for the experience itself and not for, oh, I'm an ultra runner, but I'm trying this, or I'm not even an ultra runner yet. Like I've done one ultra sure, I'm in the whatever. But for me, like it was the question of who am I? Because I've attached I did it. I wasn't like other people, sure, but I personally had attached my identity to running, and I have not been able to run for the past 8 weeks, and it has thrown my freaking emotional, hormone, like everything. I've been like the weirdest in my just like mood changes because I had this like release of just running for the past 3 or 4 years at this point. I've been running relatively consistently, and I've been training for the past like 2 years now ish. And so again, it was just so weird because I was just like, I'm not going to be able to do what I know how to do. Like, what does that even mean? And so it was really frustrating at first, but then I realized I was like, I think genuine change just has to come from the internal to the external, and like that's been a concept I've just been like grappling with and really kind of like sinking in on, because also too like that applies to my physiology itself. Like I've been doing all this stuff externally to my body, but it's like this one ass cheek muscle, it's got to fix itself, and it's one of the most deep and internal ones, you know. And so it was just that parallel for me, like really helped me realize that like I have to slow down and take the time to pay attention to like my soul,
the small things,
and also to like the smallest ass cheek muscle I have and strengthen that.
We were talking about that the other day too. Like, I think that next year, a big priority, like for so long, I have just put my body through so much fucking stress, like not even just like genuine stress, but just like the overhaul of like athletics period. And I don't slow the fuck down in that manner. Like I know we just talked about, but like in that manner, like when you go in the gym and you absolutely like crush your body and like you're just sore after sore after sore and you're hurt after hurt or hurt. And like, dude, after a while, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I just want to wake up one day and go out for a run and be like, damn, I actually feel like I could feel my feet. Like I literally have not been able to feel my feet for weeks. And I'm just like, it is frustrating as shit. So even like next year going into it, like we were just talking about this the other day, like because I've had to take so much time off, and like I mean, muscle memory is great, right? But not like when you're not doing any sort of like load or impact or volume. And now all of a sudden I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna get my life together, threw a bunch of volume on my ass. And so now I can't feel my feet, right? So like next year I need to like, I'm just trying to not get hurt.
Yeah, I think intention for next year is just being very intentional with how I spend my time, where I put my focus, and just like my energy in general. And like, just
also,
yeah.
Meanwhile, we're both coming off an injury. We both said fuck it and just booked a ticket to go do a high rocks while we're literally coming off injuries. That's because
I'm feeling good, and honestly, like I've been doing more strength training a lot recently, and so like I feel confident about that.
I think it's important to remember the why behind what you're doing sometimes, because you have to understand that sometimes when you're running, it's like, are you running for something or are you running from something?
Yeah. That's why I said we take time to chill, because it's like therapeutic to us. Like,
sure,
when you have a legitimate goal and you're out there and we're running, you know, like decent times, or like we'll go out there for like
it's just
heart rate
interesting.
splits. It's different.
It's just interesting that when both of you guys had to stop running, both of you guys had an extremely emotional upheaval.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just like an interesting observation.
Well, no, I fully know. So like coming out of the ultra training block last year, like my biggest focus for going into the next one is like I need to take care of my mental health better, because I was getting a lot of volume in. I'm a college student studying. That was my first time personal training, so I was taking on a new job while doing all that stuff, and I was genuinely like towards the end of that like treating my sister like shit, and I was treating myself like shit mentally. Like I was my self-talk was so bad, like so negative. So like honestly, like I was avoiding it. It was because I was neglecting like the internal, and so
and it's also like an adrenaline dump. Like you have something to look forward to like consistently, because you do that one thing consistently. Like shit, I had that when I was a senior and I vaulted. Like the last couple months, I quite literally I just had so much going on that I got to a point where I was literally petrified to vault. And like you get to this place where you're so mentally in your head, and I was just like blowing through the box, which means that I would just like run right past it, and I wouldn't even plant the pole. I wouldn't even jump because I was like petrified. But I was so associated with that sport, and I didn't know where else to go. So like, what else am I doing? Literally nothing. Like I wasn't necessarily in the weight room unless I was there with the team. It's not like I did anything by myself. It's not like I went out on runs by myself or did anything. I would show up to practice and do jack shit because I just wasn't vaulting either. And because you associate yourself with that. And it's also an adrenaline dump because you were on a high for like being at practice or going on a run every day, and then having an event in a certain amount of time, and you always have things on the calendar. And when you don't, you're like sticking your thumbs up your ass like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know? So like when you don't do anything else and you're not like a jack of all trades and you associate with one thing, you're like, fuck. You get hurt and it's over.
Well, I think that's that brings back a lot, like, which is just like your perception creates your reality, in the sense of like your perception is going to create the identity you have, the pain that you experience. I think that a lot of pain is emotional. I think the best PTs in the world and the best coaches in the world are the ones that can teach their clients how to unlearn pain, not unfeel it. Right. And so, you know, I think it's just like, it's a hugely psychological component, pain. And the thing that you were saying about the internal influencing the external, I use it with my clients all the time, is that like, if there's some form of internal instability, right, that people will say, oh, I just can't go to that range of motion, or, oh, this range of motion just hurts me, or, oh, this is, and it's like, it's not because you're not flexible. It's not because it's hurting you. It's because your body is physically unstable and it will not allow you to go there. And so one of my clients, Steph Lyles, I've been working with her a lot, and she has been on and off with her races. She's an incredible runner, but she's been extraordinarily frustrated she was extraordinarily frustrated because she's experiencing a lot of pain during her runs. And so the psychological component of that was affecting her runs, her diet, her psychological well-being, pain in her hips and low back and things like that. And so, and I would watch her lift, and there was like a lot, like there was just a few areas of like really great instability that she's experiencing, where it's like, I've just never been able to do a deep squat. I've just never been able to really do like a split squat lunge. And it's like, you're telling me you're a triathlete and you can't do a split squat? You know, and so it was just like hammering like the basics with her. And now it's like she can do all of these things to depth with no pain with weight. And all of a sudden it's correlating. Yeah, all of a sudden it's correlating to like she's getting first female overall.
Dude,
you know, in her
runs.
Her diet is much better. Everything is coming together more efficiently. And I don't necessarily think it's because of me, but it's because of like the component of I taught her how to unlearn pain.
Yeah.
And that is like extraordinarily powerful. That's like what makes my job as a coach so fulfilling, because it's like, not only did we actually physically work on influencing the external by improving the internal, but also the internal component that was her psychological state, that was, this is just something I can't do, this is just pain I'm experiencing, and transform that into, no, you actually can move this way now, so go run. And she ran, and she's like, fuck, I feel awesome.
Dude, and that like, honestly, because I was like writing after because it hit me like right after I had a real recovery appointment, like physical therapy. And then I was like writing, and I just realized the parallel that was going on, like with my just like physical, just like identity and all of that. And then also to my physical body, and like the process, I've had to unlearn so many things. Like that word unlearning, like it's been so
a weekly basis.
So,
Alana has literally been so fucking pissed off at me.
I'm
like,
not
she
an angry
wants to kill
person,
me.
but every Monday when we do intervals and like and I'm so grateful. That's why like I don't know why I'm getting so angry. I mean, like I do, because it's I care a lot, and I want to be to where I want to be right now. But like, she'll say like, oh, like lift your chest, or like, you know, knees get higher, and like she'll help me, and like I need these things I need to hear, and I want to punch her in the face, bro. Like I want to like, it makes me so frustrated. But I think the patience and the humility and like just the things that I'm having to channel so hard right now to just kind of like look at myself in the mirror on all accounts, because I just like I want to feel whole coming into the next year. I don't want to look back and be like, damn, I was not being me, I was just doing things, you know. And so I'm just very excited to have that parallel already kind of understood coming into this next year, because I'm like, I'm not going to do it perfect, that's on God, but like I'm very excited that I had the opportunity to slow down and just like pay attention to like my freaking person, and then also to like my physical body, because now I know, hey, I need to pay attention to these things for my body and look out for them coming into this next training block, you know.
And not that it's like, this is like a good, listen, it's not a good thing that you're hurt. However,
I think it's very essential.
It is.
One day
it is. You're going to look back on it and be like, holy shit. Like, because you have never put your body through quite literally any of this. Like, you have no training. You were just like, one day you woke up and you were like, bitch, I'm going to run.
Let's freaking go.
And your body was like, how?
Yeah.
But also, like, she trains with the 7 a.m. And like, you can really tell, because we'll be there. Like today, she was running with Rich. And so I was like filming her, because I was trying to like get their strides to link up. She was working on cadence work, stuff like that. And I was just like softly cueing her. And you could tell she's like getting more and more pissed off at me, because she'll start out really good, and then she starts to get real tired, and then you can tell her body's under fatigue, and now she starts to have that little like, you know, everything's just starting to break down, her mechanics are starting to break down. So I'll just like on the side be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll just like, hey, what the fuck are you, like, I don't even have to tell her what to do anymore. It's like, yo, pick it up. And she'll be like, okay. But she's getting more and more pissed. You could tell like people behind her, like look at her and they're like, oh yeah, this is what we have to do to run. And so like Alana will like be super hunched over and I'll be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And then she like perks up, right? And she starts like actually using her arms. And like 2 people down is Tracy being like, oh yeah, you're right. Like that's my coach that's like trying to work on her form. Let me do it too. So it's like, it's a cool like full circle moment to see because she trains in the morning. That's what we do. She came off the treadmill one time and I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She had this real weird like windmill situation going on with her foot.
I'm like, I don't know
where
these things
behind her and I was like, all right, we got to get back
before.
to basics. So I put her against a wall and we used to do these like leg rotations where you like fully kick back, see the bottoms of your shoe.
Most people when they run, they're not like pushing into the ground, they're pulling. Right?
Yeah, but for her, like with like the instability she's got going on in her hips, it was like one foot, like whip. And I'm like, okay. So she's like hardcore getting back to basics, had her against a wall, doing like full rotations, like heel up, push your knees, whatever. And I'm like showing her how to do these rotations that we were doing. And she was just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I want to punch you in the fucking face right now. And I was like, all right, cool. See you in 20 minutes. Just like walked away. I was like, stay here and do this for 20 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah. I think too, kind of going back into just your kind of perspective for going into the new year. Like I'm also too excited, like the newness of everything and experiencing new things and then being able to bring it back to everybody. Like leading by example is something that's really been like something that I'm trying to see like what that even means, but it's just been kind of something that's like on my mind just because I think that, I am now technically coaching for flockers. So I'm excited to kind of just like really stick to it and like make progress and get it done and just see what happens and experience all the new things and not be scared to agree. I don't know, just I'm excited to just lead by example. Like that's to me something that really excites me.
Yeah. So I think leading from the front is one of the most tough and satisfying things you can do. And it's what allows you to maintain your reputation as a coach. I think that's the one thing that like I do well, which is not necessarily like being this crazy leader, but being somebody that like I can get into the mind of the person who's unlearning pain because I've been there. I'm very good at now because I wasn't at all. In fact, I was terrible at it. At now being like, this is where I'm at and I don't fucking care. And like, it's all good anyways. So it's like, I had people telling me like, you might have a stress fracture on your foot. And it was almost like I actually had to tell everyone to just fucking stop because the attention to the pain was making my pain worse. The day that I got my MRI was the most painful my foot had felt. And when I ran the race, after I finished the race itself was horrific, terrible, horrible, so much pain. After I finished the race, my foot was okay. Like it was hurting, but I was fine.
Better.
And so like that's the one thing that I think I do fairly well usually, which is like it's all going to be fine and I'm okay and this pain is good. And like this suffering, that's the bright side to the thing that I'm also bad at, which is like suffering is good. And so when I went on the 21K in Utah, that's like literally that's why I won.
Pain
was
tolerance.
Because no, seriously, it was why I won because I flipped every negative thought of like, let's not do it. Was like, I'm going to win and like, this is going to be fucking baller. And like, what's 14 miles anyways?
Well, that's to me like the difference between day 1 and day 2, which is why I'm like so glad you did that race. Like, there's no part of me that genuinely is like, fuck yeah, Abigail for winning. Like, I'm so grateful that you were there because it was like, again, I'm really learning competition. Like, I've never had, like, previously I lived like a really low pain tolerance. That's gone way up just because, again, the ability to endure is what we do, And so, like, to me, I just didn't know. I've never had to dig to that place in my mind of like genuinely having to channel that and use that. Like, it's just kind of been like, oh, I'm just going to do it, and like caring about the outcome. Like, you have to channel that piece of your mind. And so for me, like Saturday, like it went horrible. Like it was, that's the closest I've been to tapping out of a race. Like I think I told the story. Like I was gonna quit. Like it was like right there. I was gonna do it, but
in
then
Utah.
I ended up, yeah.
She was like waiting for somebody to give her the go ahead. Right after, yo, take me out.
Yeah, I mean, because it was mile 7 right after like the hardest part in the race, which we just basically had been climbing for 7 miles.
Mile 6, 7 was terrible.
It was so bad, and like you know, I physically wasn't even that bad, but like I had this, like I sprained my ankle a little bit and like it really was fine, but my mind was getting to me for it. And like, so just seeing Abigail and like the way that I was like, damn, she just won that race because she was like, she wanted to, you know, and like I mean, your physical body like is capable of that. So that's why you did. But also your mind, like you were like, I'm going to win. And then you just did. And I was like, oh, so that's how that works. Cool.
But also like I have a lot of gratitude for people like you guys, because you guys are the people that like encourage me. And you're like, no, you actually are like,
celebrate
you can do it. Yeah. But also, like, you guys push me, because I don't think if you guys were there, I would have ever, I would have never done that race. I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, whatever.
You weren't even supposed to do it that day. Literally, she was supposed to go do a jiu-jitsu tournament. And then she was like, well, you know, it's kind of like an hour away. And we were like, you know, you're probably going to win tomorrow. So why don't you just fucking come with us?
Yeah.
But we're like, you're going to win. You can do this. We like, your foot means nothing. We know that you have mental grit to push through it. So just fucking do it.
And but part of it is like that sense of, I guess, responsibility that I feel, which is just like, no, like, we got this. Like, I remember just the day before being like, no, Alana, like, we're gonna win. Like, let's fucking go.
And I dropped the ball, but like even that, like, I think was essential, because I was like, damn, I could have done so much better. And so Sunday for the sprint, or for the super, that was the age group series race, and like I ran hard.
Much better.
I ran hard, and I ran that. Like the beast, dude, I was just like death marching the whole time, essentially. And like I competed the fuck out of Sunday. And that's like the only reason, like if I didn't do that and I kind of just had the same mindset that I did on Saturday, like I wouldn't have even, I almost pulled third in the age group series. I got fourth by like 300 points. I don't even really know how I got that, because like my age group series race is like the only one that went well was Jacksonville, in my opinion. But again, like that got me the points I needed to even get fourth, and you know, getting fourth kind of annoying because I was that close to a podium. So I'm like, if we even do age group series again, like you better believe I'm gonna get nasty with it. But like, it's like I'm like, dude, that pissed me off so bad, but I'm trying not to be like actually enraged. But
I
like,
love it.
I just it's just exciting because I'm like, that to me, I was like, oh, you don't have to like, I wasn't like I was not in my head enough. Like I hadn't channeled my mind the way I needed to. And so like Sunday, I figured out how to do that. And that's why I'm like so grateful you were there. I was able to see that firsthand. I was like, oh, I can actually do that. That's cool.
I just fucking love that shit, because like the first like itch that you get as a competitor is not like against other people. It's always when you come off of a race and the first thing that you think of is like, fuck, I could have done so much better. Like, you know, that you could picture that shit in your mind of like where you could have burned an extra candle, and you know exactly where it was, and you were like, fuck, I just missed it by that much, or like I didn't tap into it mentally enough for this. And that's been like just so rad. Like for me, like talking about next year, like that's what I love seeing in them, is that like I had to do that for years, and I know exactly what it feels like. And it's still frustrating for me that like I only get that so often now, but I love it just to watch them go through it, because I can relate so hard to that.
I think,
you know?
and you were saying like, how do I channel myself as a competitor? I think the best thing that works for me is like, I don't actually care about any of my competition. Like I legitimately only care about what I'm doing. Seriously. I passed the girl in second. I had no idea on the last two obstacles. And when I passed her, I was like, she was dead as fuck. And I was chilling. I just had to urinate really bad. And I went and I was going over the hurdles, and I didn't even know she was in my age group, but I had a feeling like maybe. And I was like, let's go, girl. And it was just like the difference in attitude, because she gave me the nastiest look I think I've ever seen in my life. And I just was like, okay. And I kept running. And when I crossed the line, like I actually wasn't really thinking about myself at all. I was like, where the fuck are Tracy and Alana?
I know, she like got was so nervous, mad at you. Remember?
Yeah, you like were slowing down.
I
stopped because I was gonna sit. I legitimately, like, as I was crossing, I was like, I'm going to sit in front of this fire thing.
Hello, thank God you weren't. Barry was carrying my ass. I was puking.
I was like, I'm gonna sit in front of this fucking finish line and just sit here until Alana gets here. And Kat was like, no, the fuck you're not.
Cross the line, nature. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. No, it's again, just all these experiences, like no matter the outcome, have just been so like, just so good to learn from, and I've just gained so much wisdom. And so I think like the past few days, just because again I'm so young, and like I have no genuine like focus. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna win jiu-jitsu world. Like there's no one thing that I particularly want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's no thing where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna show up in this. Like I want to experience things, and I want to be able to go after the things that I want and am intrigued by and curious about, and just feel excited about them, and that's kind of to me like I want to get experience, and I want to see what's up.
I know,
and I'm excited about it.
I'm excited about the both of you guys. Like, I feel like you guys are just at that point where,
your story's not over yet.
I know, but listen, I'm not
talking
saying that, but I'm
for.
just saying, like, I just am excited for her too because she's like just fucking starting, like coming off a fucking injury and going into next year and like already having the goals that she does. I feel like she's gonna fucking crush it next year.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm excited for.
Oh yeah, listen, 2024. I'm not dissing myself.
You're going to the Hunger Games.
My year, bitch.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Katniss Everdeen.
I'm just gonna try and sharpen this mind thing up
May the
a little bit
odds
more next year.
be ever in your favor.
Yeah, I'm trying to become like 25,000 times more mentally tenacious than I am.
That's scary.
Yeah, so
it's like God, Abigail. No,
I don't need to be like coming out of my new house, having her like fucking zenning out on my front lawn, being like, "I will protect this fucking fortress" vibes.
Abigail's gonna be
like,
levitating in the air.
Yeah, like this is the vibe I'm getting. I'm not liking it too much.
I do like you get a new house. I do like a full house check of anything that could be potentially unsafe.
When I get a new house, we have to like sage
typically.
it before I enter.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we got to do the whole
like,
nine.
I have to go stage it.
Well, no, you could sage me and I'll go in.
I have my gun with the sage
every
on the
corner.
The sage is attached to the sights of the gun.
You thought you got every corner of this house? We are getting every crevice of the next house.
Yeah, I had to sage her whole house.
There's no sage big enough. Remember that meme that I fucking sent you guys with that sage?
How much sage you
need
for
my God, it was
2023?
so good. No, 2024 is my year, bitch. I can see it.
I'm feeling it.
All right. I'm done talking.
Yeah, I need to eat and go to bed.
Okay.
I'm not really good at bed. I'm wired, but also I need to eat food because I'm starving.
Okay. I fucking wish I could be you right now.
I can cook for you.
Dude, no.
Okay.
No.
Never mind. Just kidding. Get the fuck out of my house.
All right. Love you, BarTalk people. See you next week.
Bye. Hello?